and welcome to lesson 85 on converting units of capacity. So that's talking about like cartons and bottles and whatnot. And this lesson is going to be relatively easy because it is more conversions, and we already know a strategy that we can use for all conversions in the world. Yay! So here we go. This is what you need to know. I'm going to show you this little trick thing here, this image. Some of you may have seen this before and learned it. I find that it's very, very helpful for remembering how the US system works. So this big G right here, that stands for a gallon. Okay? We got a big G. And inside a gallon are 4 Q's. You want to guess what a Q is? Quart. So inside a gallon, we have 4 Q's. If you want to flip over your paper and redraw this, it will help you remember it. And then inside a quart, we have 2 P's, which is for pints. And inside each pint is 2 little C's. And I drew this picture a little smaller than I usually do to get those C's in there. But what I can know from this, if I remember, inside a gallon is 4 Q's, inside each Q is 2 P's and then 2 C's. So it's 4, 2, 2. 4, 2, 2. If I can remember that, then I can figure out the relationship between gallons and cups. Like if I want to know, hey, how many pints are in a gallon? I can say, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints in 1 gallon. If I wanted to know, hey, how many cups are there in a quart? I could say, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cups in a quart. See how nifty this is? Or there's 2 cups in a pint, or there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cups in 1 gallon. So that's really, really useful. But also for your reference, I gave you just the ones that your book gave you. So 16 ounces is 1 pint. 2 pints equals 1 quart. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. And then you also have 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. And that is super easy because milli always means 1,000. A liter is about 2 ounces more than a quart. Okay, so just to put it into perspective, here we have 1 liter, and that's a little more than one of these Q's. Let's look at our examples. So 1 quart is how many ounces? So the first thing I'm going to do is start with what I know, okay? I know 1 quart. So I'm going to put 1 quart, put it over a 1, and then multiply it by a fraction. Now I'm going to put in my labels. I got quart down here, so it'll cross off. And ounces is what I want. So ounces is going to go up here. Now I'm going to come up here and find the relationship between ounces and quarts. We should also know that there is 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. I'm surprised that they didn't put that one in there. But if we're looking over here, so our little image here has cups. So we could say, well, 8 times how many cups are there in a quart? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cups in a quart. So 4 times 8 would be 32 ounces in a quart. Or I could use this over here, which says there's 16 ounces in 1 pint. So if there's 16 ounces in this pint and 16 ounces in this pint, then 16 times 2 would give me 32. So now that I know what I'm looking for, I know that there's 32 ounces in 1 quart. And now this tells me what I need to do with those numbers. I need to multiply. So 1 times 32 is 32 ounces. Okay, now what about if that part where I figured this relationship out in my head was too much? Well, with the conversion factor, I don't have to do all that in my head. I can just write it right out. Let me show you how that would work, okay? So let's look at this problem again. So what about if I said instead, I have 1 quart, I'm going to put it over 1, and now I don't know the relationship between quarts and ounces. So what if instead I look for something I do know the relationship with? So here I know that quarts and pints and then pints to ounces. So I can do that. So 1 quart equals 2 pints. So 1 quart equals 2 pints. And now I'm going to do another fraction, and this time my quarts went away, and now I want to get my pints gone, and I want ounces to be left. So now I'm going to look at the relationship between ounces and pints, and I see there's 16 ounces in 1 pint. 16 ounces in 1 pint. And look, guys, the pints cross off. 1 times 2 times 16. 16 times 2 is 32. The only label that's left is ounces. Ta-da! So that's why we learned it with a conversion factor, because it opens up a whole new world of opportunity for you. You can even do double step multiplying fractions. Are you guys pumped? You're like doing what 7th and 8th graders do. You should be so excited and proud of yourselves. Let's try another one. Okay, so here we go. A half gallon is how many quarts? So this is a fraction of a gallon. I'm going to use a decimal. You could use a fraction if you wanted to. I'm going to put it over 1. Oops, almost forgot my label. Gallon's going to go on the bottom. I want quarts. I already know the relationship between gallons and quarts, so I can go right to that. I don't need a third one. And now the relationship between quarts and gallons, there are 4 quarts in a gallon. 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So 0.5 times 4, or 1/2 times 4 is 2. Over 1, the gallons will go away, and so my answer is 2 quarts. Isn't this so fun? Okay. All right, last one. I want you to try this one on your own. So we have 18 pints equals how many gallons? So I'm going to help you kind of know what to do. You're going to start with 18 pints, put it over 1, multiply it by a fraction, put pints on the bottom, put gallons on the top. Use this nifty little picture to help you figure out how many pints are in 1 gallon, or go from gallons to quarts and then quarts to pints, whatever you would rather. Multiply, and you'll get a mixed number or a whole number with a decimal part to it, but it's not too hard of a decimal. You'll do just fine. All right, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Go ahead and get to work.